Hey, what's up, people? I hope you hear me. I'm Demetrios Kopeliti, back online after a while, and with a new live stream, number 19 up to this point. And what I'm gonna do today, I'm gonna play, of course, some songs as usual. By the way, I'm back in the control room, which is kind of really messed up, and it's supposed to be like this because I know exactly how to find my stuff for recording and mixing and stuff, and not just that. And yeah, the point was that I was supposed to have this live stream together with my friend Laurent. So we were supposed to do like a live show, but we were kind of late in terms of there is a lot of work involved, like recording and doing backing tracks and practicing the songs and stuff. So we thought about postponing that probably to July or August. And I didn't really want to cancel the live streaming, so I thought about just taking that over a little bit and doing like a different thing, because usually I'm in the live room and I play a lot of songs and stuff. This time instead I'm gonna talk a little bit. I'm gonna play as well, as I said before. And I don't really have a program about today, so basically I'm gonna show you a little bit about what I'm doing those days. And there are, of course, as usual, a lot of stuff going on. And I'm having a little bit more time now because I have less lessons, so I have time to do some extra things. And in the last period, I was working on the songs together with Laurent. Then I thought about I have some old songs that I wanted to revisit in a way. So I really wanted to change some, the sound at least of those songs. So just kind of re-record those songs also with different recording techniques that nowadays I usually use. Like I have a lot of different softwares comparing to, let's say, there is a song which is called Gray from the Evolution album, the Evolution EP. And the Evolution EP, by the way, was recorded by me in around 2008 when I was still living in Italy in my bedroom, just with the Line 6 pod, which is here, by the way, still there, still going strong. I don't use it so much anymore, but when I use it, I still like it. And and then after in 2008, then I moved to Norway, and I started building this studio where I'm working those days. And of course, I'm supposed to be a better player, a better composer, and a better producer those days comparing to the comparing to 10, 12, 13 years ago. And yeah, so this is it. So I'm gonna play some songs. I'm gonna take it easy. If you have any questions, just ask. I'm gonna talk a lot today, which I usually do, but more than usual. And that's it. So anything that you wanna ask me, you are more than welcome. So let me see. We are live on Stageit.com. We are on. Some of you guys are following from YouTube and Facebook as well. And let me see who is online here. Antoine, ça va? Good to see you, brother. And by the way, I saw your video yesterday about the new hot tone pedal, which is called Soul Press 2. I'm gonna talk about that later on. Yeah. And then GLB, hi. And then a bunch of people from YouTube and Facebook. I cannot really see the name, but if you can actually introduce yourself here in the chat, if you want. Also, Glenda is supposed to be on, I guess. Yeah. So let me see. There is a question already. What do you do when you work on guitar? What do you mean exactly? What do I do when I work on guitar? Like on guitar composition, practicing. The sound maybe. Maybe you mean like mixing or editing and those kind of things. Okay. What do you do? What do I do when I decide to pick up the guitar to practice? Well, I'm I'm kind of lucky because I have the opportunity to practice a lot. Because I am a guitar instructor, as you know. So of course I basically practice every day with my students. Of course, there are different degrees of, different levels. So I don't always practice those things that maybe at my level I should do. But it's always good to practice the basics and the technique in order to keep in shape as more as I can. So a lot of the beginning usually, like a regular lesson with my students, it works like this. As soon as we hook up, we just talk a little bit, of course, break the ice a little bit, and the student is going to tell me if he practiced or not. And usually he did at least a little bit, and I'm not really strict when it comes like if they didn't practice. I try to motivate in order to keep practicing. But anyways, we start with usually with a chromatic scale, which might be played in a lot of different ways. So we have like tons of exercise, you know, just based on the chromatic scale, and that's a really good way to warm up the fingers and alternate picking. And usually we do a little bit of music theory, so related to the instruments. So we practice scales. We start from the pentatonic scales, and then we move to the major scales, and we play the harmonic minor, melodic minor, and sometimes we play like in the latest couple of months, we did a lot of different scales, like the whole tone scale and diminished, and some synthetic scales. And then we do, we usually practice a song, which might be a song from the beginning to the end, just focusing on every single rhythm, or it might be just some rhythms in general, and then we do a little bit of improvisation. So that's more or less one lesson, and then it depends how long the lesson is. So if the lesson maybe is just like here in Norway we have a lot of lessons around like 25 minutes, which is nothing, but we managed to compress. We are used to that, so we managed to compress everything in the lesson. And then we have lesson of 1 hour, like 60 minutes. Then we can really take it easy and really go deep into all those subjects. But when it comes to practice, for me, I just try to do at least 1 hour every day, except for practicing with the students at the end of the session. And usually I focus on what I'm working that week. Let's say this last couple of weeks I worked on those songs that I'm gonna play now, and then when I had like that hour at the end of the lessons, I was just focusing on playing those patterns from those songs. Yeah, and then I usually practice like regular technique when I really don't have anything to do, like something specific that week, which doesn't really happen often. But I play the guitar a lot, so that's a good thing. I'm really lucky because even if I don't have time to practice my stuff, not so much time, I still have a lot of lesson during the week, so I can still practice a lot of guitar, because basically the lesson between me and the students is almost like a like practicing session in a way. There is a lot of teaching and stuff, but we do practice together. But now, let's thank you for the question. If you have any other question, just ask. I'm gonna play one song now, and then I'm gonna answer to some other questions that I can see here. And the song is called Gray, as I said before, and it comes from my EP from 2008 called Evolution. And I really wanted to change some arrangements in order to make it more modern and more in line with the way I'm producing music those days. And we can talk about this song later on. I'm gonna play first. So this is actually the original recording project. So it's overwhelmed extremely because I have all kinds of shit here. And I re-recorded the guitar. I'm gonna talk about that later. Now I'm gonna just play. Okay, let's do like that. We try one more time. By the way, yeah. So let me switch the camera. And here we go. So that was Gray, the new Gray, which was actually the first instrumental song I ever wrote. And that was written actually a long time ago, 2006. And this is the new version. So this is the new version, which I'm gonna open the project and explain a couple of things, like what are the new things that I added to the song. Basically, I built the song almost from scratch. I still have the DIs. Actually, it's a long story. I recorded it with the pod, and then I re-recorded that for another project, and then so I still have the DIs. So I had to edit the DIs a little bit, re-record some parts that I didn't like, and the drums, I replaced the drums. So I play the drums by myself on the electronic kit I have in the live room, and also I played the bass as well. And I programmed all the keys, and I arranged the whole orchestration. And I added some acoustic guitar. So I'm gonna go into details soon. I'm just gonna answer to a couple of questions still. Here on Stageit. Are you familiar with Andy Timmons? musician, songwriter, and singer. Yeah, yeah, is one of my favorite actually. And I remember that I saw him the latest time here in Norway, in Larvik Guitar Fest, the year before that I played there, and I was extremely impressed. You know, he played that song which is called "Cry for You," and it was magical. So in the middle part was just like I was, you know, I never really seen anything like that. So it was really the feeling with the instrument and the whole music environment was really special. So you know, I will always remember that moment. It was from a musical point of view and of feelings. It was great. So yeah, I love Andy Timmons. I have almost all his albums. You know, and going back to us. Let me start talking a little bit about the rearrangement of Gray. Here I don't have the solo because that's the backing track I did for the performance. It's nice not to have this noise in the background, maybe. Yeah. So in the beginning we have this intro with this kind of Metallica inspired arpeggio on clean, which was there before, so I didn't really change anything there. I just played that again. But here I actually added the violin together with the guitar, so the violin and the guitar, they are playing actually the same thing. And then the second part, the guitar is harmonizing the violin, as I did before. Now the guitar is not there, of course, so you cannot really hear that. Then the rock part kicks in. Here I have two guitars. Before I had just one guitar playing the riff. Now I have one open guitar and the other one is playing the riff. And then comes the chorus here. So the violin, I mean, the orchestration was not there before. There were just guitars playing that part. And now there is a new synth here on the bridge, we can call it like this. Here the synth is playing the chorus part that the guitar used to play before. And let me spend a couple of words about this synth, which sound, in my opinion, it sounds really good in the song. Just taken as itself, I don't think this is a great synth at all. But in the whole musical landscape, it sounds good in my opinion. But if you listen to that just by itself, it sounds almost like some kind of a 8-bit Nintendo sound with a little bit of reverb. Sounds almost like ridiculous, but then, you know, together with the solo and the rest of the instruments, I think it sounds pretty good. And then I added some acoustic guitar, actually just one acoustic guitar. I'm gonna double that. I'm gonna replay that again. And for the studio version of the song, I already did the video, like the live version. So far there is just one acoustic guitar. And here there is a guitar solo as I played there before, which is completely improvised every time. It's supposed to be this way. I never really learned a solo there, so I have, every time sounds different, which is good. Which is good for me because the whole song is written, so the whole song is always the same from the beginning to the end, and then in the end I just improvise. So, I always improvise in a different way because I always feel in a different way. If you know what I mean. From my improvisation you can feel my feeling in a way, if you know what I mean. So yeah, and that is it. That's Gray, which is gonna be released probably. I'm gonna tell you exactly the date, which is written here somewhere. September 27. And then I have other 2 songs which are gonna be released in a couple of months after that, and might be that those 3 songs are gonna be included as a bonus tracks in a CD or a LP. I mean, in a vinyl version of the next album. Might be, if there is any need in a way. So in the beginning, the album is gonna be released digitally, and then we'll see if people are interested in buying some CDs or maybe vinyls. I can think about making some. And the good news is that the cover is actually almost ready, and it looks great. So some more details about that soon. But yeah, now I actually need to open the next project. So it's gonna take some minutes because, as I said before, those projects are actually overwhelmed. So I can answer some questions. Let me see how we are doing on time. On stage, we still have 2 minutes, but there will be the encore, which is probably 20 minutes or half an hour. Probably 20 minutes or 15 or something. So, back to us. Who's making the cover? Yeah, the cover is made by a great artist from Germany. His name is Mark. The last name, I don't want to screw it up, so I'm going to check it out and let you know in 1 sec. Well, it was not really difficult. Bridgman, Mark Bridgman. And me and him, we met in 2010. We toured together. I toured with Arcadia. He was playing with his band, which name was... I don't remember now. I will remember later on probably. But it was a really good band. And he made covers for a lot of different artists. And he made a cover for, I think, for Master, which is a death metal band from the US. And I actually played with Paul from Master in another band which is called Abomination. We toured in Europe in 2011. So right after the tour I did with Mark. You said, this is Antoine. Also Antoine was asking about the cover. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. I said, if you remember correctly, that you don't learn that many songs from others. How do you develop your vocabulary? Well, that's a good question. Because, yeah, that's true. I never really... I mean, of course, attending the music college, I had to learn songs from other artists, which is... which I like doing that, but I never really did that. I don't know why. Maybe... I don't know. Might be that I was kind of lazy, but I was playing a lot, even when I was a kid. So, but I was more like improvising. That's why improvising became my thing. And just when I was learning a song, I was playing the song my own way, anyways. So and the vocabulary, I think, is just like I think I learned I mean, I developed the vocabulary that I have just improvising a lot and learning scales and learning arpeggios and understanding the relationship between all the chords, arpeggios, and the scales, which is basically the same thing in a way, and doing a lot of improvisation, both like in terms of practice routine and in terms of improvising with bands. So I really almost always improvise solo. I never really play the same solo over and over again. Just if the solo was really technical, in that case, it gives less space for improvisation and stuff. So might be some of the solo in the latest period with Arcadia was more like always the same thing, because the solo were shorter and more specific. But I remember back in the day, it was always improvisation live. So and that's that. It's really. I think improvisation is really important. At least for me, it's really important, and that's how I write music. It's always improvisation, and then I go back to that and I think like, okay, this part sounds kind of good, and the other one, okay, that maybe I should improvise something else, and then I build up a song like that. Especially when it comes to instrumental music. And how do you learn, still, Antoine? And how do you learn new licks and tricks? I don't. No, well, I just compose all the time. So I just there is always all those notes. They are always going on in my mind, and then they manifest in licks basically. And I develop my lick vocabulary this way. But sometimes I play some licks, which are almost the same, and then that is when I think like, oh, I shouldn't do that. I should try to do something else. I should get out from that box, that lick. I shouldn't play that pentatonic scale in tapping. I play that on 3 songs already. That's it. Let's move to something else. So the thing of the licks, I feel that it's really important to always make experiments and take those licks have a different overview on those licks. In order not to repeat yourself, which is really important to always try to experiment and do different things. Some people think that it's not that is always important to stick at your own identity, but I think it's always good to change, from album to album, from project to project. It's not really a popular thing because you establish a fan base, and then suddenly, the album after that is a completely different stuff, and people might be disappointed. But I always feel that it's important to do what you feel and how you feel, instead of just doing the same thing just for making people happy, which is still a good thing to do. But it's good to find a compromise, probably, between those two things. Jill said, do you have any plans to tour the US? You live in Seattle. Never been to Seattle, actually. But yeah, I don't really have any plans right now because there have been the COVID thing, and I have been in the studio doing live stream for 1.5 years, which is kind of cool. But actually, it's funny because the latest time I played live was one of the latest time was basically in LA, in Los Angeles at the NAMM show. And then the whole COVID thing started. Like I remember it started exactly when I was driving back from Anaheim back to LA downtown. So that was one of the last concerts I did. But I loved to play in the U.S. Basically, with Arcadia, we were living with my band Arcadia. We were living in the U.S. We lived there for back and forward for more or less a couple of years. So I still have plans to tour the U.S. Absolutely, yeah. But and I was talking about that to my friend who lives in Austin. And I will be probably there back in January if things go like they're supposed to go. I'm going to get my vaccine shot in a couple of days, the first one, and then the second one in probably September, which is kind of late. But then, I will get the green pass and probably able to go touring again if the touring thing is going to resume like it's supposed to. Yeah, right on. So, the The next song is ready here, and it's Keep Your Eyes Closed, still from both the Evolution album, the Evolution EP, and the Art of Complication, which is my third album. So I already re-recorded this song. This is the second time, you know. And what did I do on this song? Well, basically the structure is more or less the same. I changed the sound, and the drums was recorded MIDI. So I changed the sound of the drums using, like, instead of Superior Drummer 2, Superior Drummer 3, which gives you a lot of more possibilities sound-wise. And the song goes like this. Wow, not like something like that. Hold on. Let's start with the clean. And by the way, I'm recording direct. I mean, I'm playing direct into the DI, and I'm using some plugins by Mercurial Audio, Euphoria, and SS11X. Mercurial Audio is a company from Russia making great guitar plugins, you know. And I did all the automation. Let me see how we are doing on time. We have 15 minutes on Stageit. Okay, so we have a little bit of time still. Yeah, so this is Keep Your Eyes Closed, version 3 actually, believe it or not. I need to remember to change camera and move to this. Yes, so you can see what I play instead of seeing this microphone in front. Let's go. the outro, which is the same as before, but I changed the sound. So for the drums, I'm using Groove Agent, the new one for Cubase 9.5 or 10 or whatever. And then I'm using different plugins for the synths. There is a bass. There is a bass which is called Spectre. It's a standard plugin of Cubase. If there is anybody using Cubase, they know what I'm talking about. It's a really standard one. And then there is another one which is called Hybrid, which is more like techno dance plugin for synths and all those kinds of really strange sounds. And in the last couple of weeks, I have been really inspired by a new album of Fear Factory, which is called Aggressor Continuum. And there are 3 or 4 different keyboard players in there, and the orchestration are great. So I really got a lot of input those days because of that album. So there is still the clean guitar from the beginning going on, and all those sounds on top. And the song is gonna be fading out this way. And thank you very much. So let me see. Basically, the song is the same as before. I just added a couple of extra orchestrations. The musicians who played on this song, because the previous version of Grey, I mean the new version of Grey, I played all the instruments, but instead on Keep Your Eyes Closed, I decided to keep the drums, and the drummer is Magnus Nadseth, Norwegian drummer, who did a great job. He played MIDI on his Yamaha set, and then of course he sent me the MIDI file so I can still change the sound every time I want with Superior Drummer or another software. And I really wanted to keep the same drums because I think there was the right feeling was there. So there was kind of simple, but at the same time sometimes he was doing some jazzy feels and stuff like that, which of course I cannot do it because I'm more a guitar player than a drummer, of course. And in that song was fitting perfectly in my opinion, so I just kept it. And the bass is played by Alessandro Cacace, who is a great bass player from Italy, and also former bass player for Arcadia. And then I have, for the orchestrations, I have 2 classical musicians. One is Daniel Lazar, and the other one is Almir Meskovic, both from Bosnia. They live here in Oslo, and they came to the studio to record some music together. They always play together. They have a lot of projects together, so it was great because I just mic'd them up, and I had some overheads, and it was almost like a live session in a way, over the pre-recorded music, So, and also I added a couple of extra violins and orchestrations. There is, especially in the middle part. Here there are a lot of violins and a cello and viola. Really romantic. Here's still good. I just had one guitar playing there, and I didn't really like it, so I decided to use like that kind of trick to have that the megaphone sound over the guitar, which makes the guitar smaller. And because I had the problem when drums was coming in, now it's okay. Now it's okay, but before I didn't really have I didn't really feel the dynamic lip in a way. So I decided to make the guitar smaller with this radio or megaphone effect, and then I use a really bass pad on the number one. So basically, which I hope you hear it, through the internet and stuff. I don't think it's so easy, but if you listen to the album afterwards, maybe you can hear that. So there's this big bass coming in. Back to the prog part with the viola on top. Yeah, so basically this is the difference comparing to the old version, and I think it sounds better. Of course, still in the still work in progress, so it's not really finished. But I think there is a video coming next week. The live version is ready. I had to work still on the studio version, and then I will have to mix all the album in order to have more like uniformity between the songs, because I wrote the songs during this COVID period, all the songs. And they all sound a bit different, so I like to do albums in a way that from the beginning to the end you have a little bit the songs are more uniform, and of course every song has a different character, a different vibe and stuff, so different sounds sometimes, but I like uniformity in the album, that makes sense for me. But anyways, we still have 1 minute and 20 seconds, so we don't have time to play another song, but I invite you in 1 minute and 20 seconds, those people who are on Stageit, to go on YouTube, and we continue there. I have some extra stuff I want to do. I want to show you some gear. I want to show you some stuff. So you can go on YouTube, and in 1 minute from now, my YouTube channel is Dimitri677. I'm gonna type it in here. Hold on. So in the meanwhile, I'm gonna open the next project, which is Immortal Portrait. And thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. My dad, Luigi Scopoliti, he just posted the right link for the YouTube channel, and I mean for this video. And great if you can subscribe. I see you there. Okay, so Antoine is on YouTube. Let me see who is on YouTube right now. I hope that the people from Stageit, they managed to move to YouTube in time. I'm gonna answer some questions. Wow, there are a lot of questions here. The core, okay, Antoine says the chorus and the bending part are just awesome. I love the progression. I think, okay, now I cannot open that anymore because I'm switching to the other project, but I think you mean the part which sounds a little bit like, I mean, it's probably inspired unconsciously by Kashmir of Led Zeppelin. And those chords that I'm playing are G, then it's G flat 5, and then it switches to sharp 5, and probably to the 6th, still keeping the G as a bass, as a drum in a way. And let me see. Yeah. So, the middle part, yes. I think that's I mean, let me see. Let me see. Can I play that? Can I play with madness? Let me see. Probably this. Now I remember how it is. I didn't play that rhythm for a long time. Yeah, it's a G. It's a G. Let me see if I can find the sound which makes sense on that part. Maybe this. No, it doesn't make sense, but I play on this anyways with the single coil. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I love it. That's why I added more orchestration, because more is more. Now I need to tune the guitar, and then I'm gonna play Immortal Portrait. And what gear am I gonna show? Well, I got a pack in my mailbox yesterday, I think. And I'm gonna show you that. I'm gonna open it. I still didn't open that, so it might be that it's I don't know what is. I mean, I have an idea what is inside, but still I didn't open that. So, but I want to play a song first, and then please remind me about that, because probably I'm gonna forget. Yeah, it's always great to tune the guitar when there are 30 degrees outside, and the day before probably 15. So, who is online right now? I see Antoine because he's writing some comments. Is there anybody else? Yeah, Gilby is back. Awesome. So I can play the song. The song is called Immortal Portrait, and I composed that around 2012 or 13, and that was released in my album called The Art of Complications, which you can find on iTunes and Spotify. And now I thought it was time to change that a little bit, but still, this is still the old version, because I didn't manage to be done with the new version in time for the live session. So, but I'm gonna play the old song, which is awesome anyways, because I really like this song. It's my version, so it's not the version with Laurent, which is gonna come at the next live, playing the violin over that. Anyway, this is Immortal Portrait. Need to switch camera, a lot of stuff going on. Let's go. was Immortal Portrait. Yeah, let me switch off this amp. Wow, great. Here we go. Back to the main camera. So, that song, as I said before, was released in 2015 in The Art of Complications. Thank you very much. I'm glad you like it. And, you know, do I have any plans about the new restyle of the song? Yeah, probably the drum. I mean, I'm sure the drums is gonna completely change sound. So I'm gonna, you know, use the same MIDI files, but of course using a different VST instrument, which is gonna be Superior Drummer Free. And then still those two guys, Almir and Daniel, they are playing on this song. I'm gonna add some extra orchestrations, some extra strings, you know, in order to make it more epic. And yeah, I'm gonna reamp the guitars as well. So these guitars are reamped with probably remembering the time with this amp here, which is the JSX, PV JSX, which is really close to a Triple X, but this is the Joe Satriani model. And I'm gonna try different combination with the Kemper, which I have here, or some plugins as well. We'll see. I still didn't really work on that song. I'm gonna start this week, from tomorrow basically. Now, yeah, okay, let's do like this. I'm gonna open the pack, which I'm not sure is gonna be so interesting, but I got the pack from a company. But let me answer to some question first. Any thoughts on Superior Drummer Free versus Easy Drummer 2? Yeah, I really love Superior Drummer Free. I think it's, in my opinion, the most advanced VST instrument for drums. And really easy to use, extremely easy to use. If you're used to Superior Drummer 2, basically it works in a similar way, but you have way more possibilities. And I believe that I just use like 1/10 or even less than what you can do with the Superior Drummer Free. But you know, I just need it for that, and this sounds great. You know, it's overwhelming the PC a little bit because just Superior Drummer is using 8 gigas of RAM, just Superior Drummer Free. And comparing to Easy Drummer 2, I think Easy Drummer 2, I'm just talking about the sound now, because I think the functionality is a bit different. I believe with the Easy Drummer you do more like loops and stuff like that. Of course you can write the whole song and stuff, but the point is to drag in some loops and just change a little bit a couple of strokes and make it like you really want. Superior Drummer, I use it, the way I use it is just writing in every single stroke when I program that, when I do the demo, and playing the MIDI kit, you know, and then changing sound on the VST instrument, looking for the right sound for the song. I believe Easy Drummer 2 is in between Superior Drummer 2 and Superior Drummer 3. So sound-wise is something in between. The sound is pretty good of Easy Drummer, but it's not like Superior Drummer 3, in my opinion. So I'm not even sure that I'm gonna do Easy Drummer 3. I don't even know if they have done it. I don't think so. I don't think they are gonna do it if they didn't do it, because Superior Drummer 3 basically is, I think, it's putting together Superior Drummer 2 and Easy Drummer 2, and they is bringing that to the next level. Do you use extra packs when it comes to everything you need right out the box? Antoine, I think you're talking about Superior Drummer 3, basically. And I don't, if you're talking about that, I don't use any extra packs. But I used to use an extra pack for Superior Drummer 2, which is called the Metal Foundry, which is there in my shelf. And I used that for a little while, and then I moved to Superior Drummer 3. Jill, Okay, let me see. Let me import it because I completely forgot how this StreamYard works. Here we go. Haha. All right. So Antoine, what do you mean? Do you mean like Superior Drummer Free? And let me see here. Jill B, I have been a fan of Andy Timmons for many years, and his stage shows really helped me through this ongoing pandemic. So happy that I found you, Demetrio. Thank you very much. My pleasure to play for you guys. And yes, it's I've been in stages for many years basically, but I never really used that until the pandemic started because I never really had the motivation to do live streaming. And then I started, and I did some on Facebook and stuff, but really like maybe 3, 4 or something in the last 10 years. And then I decided to just, of course, move on. I just do a lot of more live streamings, and I think I'm gonna continue even if the world is kind of opening a little bit. When I have the time, I'm gonna do more live streaming as well, directly from the studio. Anyways, I'm always here, so it doesn't cost me anything to just go online, and play for you guys. So, and it's good. So I just, I have an extra motivation to play music. It's great. And the next question is, do you play other instruments? Yes, I do. The guitar is my main instrument, but I play bass and drums. And bass, yeah, and of course I'm not at the same level as the guitar, which is my main instrument. But I think that after many years that you play an instrument and that you produce music and arrange, you kind of also learn how to play other instruments because you're kind of forced in a way. You have an understanding of how those instruments work. You can write music for those instruments, so in a way you also learn a little bit of technique. But of course, it's not always easy to find time to practice all the instruments that you play. So that's why I like to record drums and bass in order to keep in shape also technically on those instruments. Back to Antoine. Yes, you answered perfectly. I use the same pack with the Easy Drummer 2. I think about upgrading to Superior Drummer 3. I think it's great. I think it's really good if you do it. And you just need to make sure you have enough space for all the samples and enough RAM. It's really easy to overwhelm the computer, especially if you have other VST instruments, and other plugins at the same time. So yeah, it's time for unboxing. Yes, it is. Okay, let me see if I can do it. I don't know if it's exciting or not. I don't know. Is it exciting to open a box? I have no idea. But so the DHL, they came with this pack, and I'm not sure what it is. I mean, I kind of know what it is, but I'm not sure. So we'll see. Let's open them. Let me see if I can cut myself like a true Norwegian black metal band. Let me see. Easy spot here. There's the microphone there. Okay, you see that? You see it? Okay, let's do like this. Let's remove this comment. What do you think it is? You have an idea what it is? Okay, of course you know that. But I don't even know that. So it might be that, it might not be that. Okay, opening skills 0. So it's a black box. It's a black box marked with Hot Tone, which is my sponsor and Antoine's sponsor as well. Now, the easy part was to break that, and now I don't want to break it, so maybe sliding. Yes, it is. black box. Of course, the packs comes from China. That's why it's a box inside the box for a while, I guess. Yeah. Okay, the box are finished. So looks like it's a pedal. It's a purple pedal. Is it purple or am I colorblind? There's not so much light here, but it's kind of blue. Blue. It's more blue. It's more blue. So this is the new SP2, which stands for Soul Press of Hot Tone Audio, and that's both. That's the new version of a volume and wah pedal, and it works as expression pedal as well. And Antoine, he made a really great demo yesterday on YouTube, so you can go and check it out. You can write your own YouTube channel if you want, so people can just go and check it out. And I'm gonna, of course, experiment a little bit with that and find out the way it works, because it's a bit different comparing to the old one, which is this one. Where is that? Here. That's the old one. Okay, let me see. Let me change camera. I have another camera, so let's use it. Okay, less and less light because it's getting darker. Let me see. So this is the new one. Let me see. Here. And this is the old one. So the old one is a volume pedal, wah pedal, and then volume pedal, wah at the same time. And then you have a volume for, I believe it's for the gain level. And then here instead you have the option to choose also the tone, like a little bit more warm or classic. And then you have an EQ control, I believe, in order to how can we say it, decide how much what's the range of the wah, in a way, I think. But I still didn't read the instruction and I never tried it, so I will make sure it is like this. And then you have a tuner out, which I believe it might be like something like I mean, it's an extra output, I guess, so you can use it for the tuner or to go direct to the desk or something. It's great. Look forward to check it out, to practice a little bit on that and make a video soon. So check out my YouTube channel, and it's gonna be there in the next couple of weeks. So that was the surprise. And yes, it shifts from blue to purple, depending on the light. All right, we're talking about light, so there is not so much light because it's getting darker, it's getting late. So let me play the last song, basically. Maybe the last song for today. So you can watch the football game, which started already like 15 minutes ago, but don't leave me. Just let's play one song. I'm gonna play one song, which is classic in my repertoire, and that's SL8, which I'm not planning to re-record at the moment. Let me check the tuning first. I didn't check if there is any question from Facebook. I don't really get notification in StreamYard. I'm gonna check it out after we are done and answer. So this song is called SL8. that was SL8, and I believe we are almost done for today. Let me see if there is any other question. Hello, Pulse Fire Fan. Thank you very much, Antoine. Let me see. And GLB says, very cool. Good to hear you're going to continue to do shows on Stageit. I will definitely share your work with others and the Timon's fans. Thank you very much. And please, for everybody who are tuning in, who did tune in so far, you can subscribe my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com Dimitris677. I think you can actually find it this way, which is really easy. Or you can just type in my name, Demetrio, and last name Scopelliti. You're gonna find me there. And I'm gonna, every week, I tend to post new videos. You know, sometimes I take some breaks, but usually it's almost every week. And here we go. You say there is a football match, but Italy already played, right? Yes, they did play last night. So that's exactly what I wanted to talk about, football. And soccer, because people who follow us from the US, they might misunderstand. You know, when I travel to the US and I say, you know what, I play football, they look at me and they go like, what? Of course, I don't really have like the physicality to play American football, but I do play soccer. And Italy played last night. The fourth match so far at the Euro 2020, even if it's in 21. And we won all the 4 matches. So it did look good until yesterday, and yesterday we still won, so that's okay. We suffered a lot, so we almost risked to be eliminated by Austria. But we have a really good football team, and I am confident we can do great stuff. And same, I have to say, actually even better for France. So Antoine, my congratulations, because France looks really good this year, and not just this year, probably has been like this for a while. And we Italians, we know that usually during the European Championship, usually France is the one that eliminates us from the competition. But French people, they know that during the World Cup, instead is the other way around. I don't know if you agree with that, but that's just my point of view, and the point of view of a lot of Italians, I guess. So, yeah, I think the football match tonight is, what I heard, I'm not sure, so I need to double check. It might be Portugal and Belgium that they are playing, and the one who is winning is gonna play against Italy at the quarterfinal next week or so. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. Everybody remember that here. So yeah, no problem. It's just football, you know. So anyways, I think we're done. So again, thank you very much for following me, and it was an honor as well again for playing for you guys. And please, you know, keep the live music alive. And looks like if things are gonna go the right way, I'm gonna get back on the road. But as I said before, I'm gonna keep playing directly from my studio, which is one of the places I love most. And just subscribe my YouTube channel so you can get updates weekly. And the next live stream It will be probably in July, and it will be probably together with Laurent Bernadac, who is a great violin player from France. And me and Laurent, we have been playing some tours so far. You know, we played in China, we played in the US, in Europe, in Norway, and we have an album together which is called Live in Norway, which you can check out on my Spotify profile. Just type in Demetrios Scopelliti, my name and last name. You're gonna find it on Spotify or iTunes. And yeah, you know, take care, and I see you in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, sorry. Yeah, and that's it. So thank you very much again. See you soon, and take care. Bye.